Welcome to another episode of Beyond Physical, where we talk about the mental, emotional, social, and at times spiritual benefits of exercise. We believe that exercise is more than movement, and this podcast is our attempt at sharing that message with the world by sharing our own as well as our guests' experiences and knowledge. If you enjoy it, we ask that you please spread the message by leaving a rating and review, or even better, by sharing with a friend. Since we last chatted, I've become way more planned with pods, but this
Way
one,
more planned.
Yeah, but I've made an intentional kind of effort for this one to be not as planned because I feel like we have a much better organic rapport.
100%. Yesterday we were already on a roll.
Exactly, bro. I don't know if it's chilled for me to raise the kind of lesson, the big lesson that you shared with me. We can always chop it out if you're not, but.
No, I think it's good. I think Jason is the deciding factor, to be honest.
Fine.
Not
Okay.
me.
Okay.
I think as much downside as there was for me, it's an upside of his character, to be honest.
Okay.
Like he's the one I admire, to be honest. Like the way he has done what he's done, even when a person next to him that's been there for the whole ride doesn't get it. That's like his story is the story that a founder tells one day in his book, where it's like a co-founder of mine was like split between these decisions and he just stayed fast straight through, you know? He's the guy that you get books written about.
Yeah, this is true. I actually was going to ask you about the 25 milliliters, but
Oh, the 355s. No, you can.
But let's actually go back to the co-founder dynamic thing because you guys are still great friends after
Best of
that.
friends.
How did you? I know nothing about co-founder relationships because I'm a solo founder. That would be difficult for me.
Bro,
splitting
it
from
is.
a mate in something that you've been building together. How did you even bring that up?
So to go way back, Jason and I were not close friends, but we're in the same friend group. And I was a bit of a mess around youngster, and he was he went and got his degree cum laude, business. He was the hardest worker in the room always. And I think we didn't get along because I messed around a lot. And although we enjoyed each other's company, it was that was the thing that was missing, was the respect of work ethic. And then as I got a little older, we chatted. I love business and love talking about it, but I wasn't the doer yet. And we started having conversations about the app, and we got to work together, and we quickly learned we really were everything the other wasn't. The other was, you know, and that's why we worked so well together. And it actually gave me as I learned in Nawty Water, it gave me a delusional perspective of working with people, because I thought I was the reason, you selfish, you think I'm the guy that we don't have to fight. We don't have to argue because I don't have an ego about it, or I don't, and you quickly you think you're the reason that it works so well, subconsciously even, you know? And Jason, it was a two-way street, is what you realize. We both didn't, it was for the better of the company all the time. Arguments are always to see what that best solution was, not to be I'm right. And I think that's most people want to be the reason the company succeeded, instead of just making the company succeed. And Jason and I think we both saw eye to eye. We could argue for hours, up until my girlfriend at the time would come downstairs and be guys, please stop, someone's gonna get hurt, you know. And we both no, we're not fighting to win. Someone's got to prove the other wrong, so we make the right decision. And that dynamic works so well while we work together. And that's why it made that conversation so hard, because I felt I was leaving him high and dry. But you have to do it. You have to have those. I think I left it for too long, and you actually realize that was the reason it was stale for so long, was because there was someone that was in the company not fully in it, you know? So that was it got to that tipping point where I had to sit down with him and be my heart's not where yours is. I'm watching you work 10 times harder than me while I'm distracted. I'm actually doing this a disservice, and you're going to do way better without me. So that was the conversation, and it was hard, bro. The hardest thing it was worse than a breakup.
I can imagine. Because how long were you guys building Sociable together? 5 years, bro. 5 years is crazy.
Yeah, 5 years, 4 years. It was before lockdown that we had the idea. And from then it was like all in. And we had put in like, bro, I put in probably like 750 grand, 800 grand at that point. And Jason had put in like equivalent, and he had put in 12 hours a day for 4 or 5 years, right?
Yo.
Dude, like literally, he was like 2 in the morning most nights, you know? And that's what made it so hard. It was.
But what's been really cool from an outsider's perspective, knowing both of you, is watching what you guys are doing and how, honestly, there seems to have been a correlation with how amazingly things look from a Naughty Water perspective now, post-split, and Sociable too. It looks
Oh,
like
they're
both
both
businesses are boosting because
100%.
you guys are able to be fully in that, and it seems it's borne fruit for sure.
100%.
And it's been a good call.
Putting the right people in place, like I was the wrong person for him.
Sure.
You know, I was the wrong person in that last, like when he needed me most, I wasn't invested, you know, I was the wrong person. And as soon as we both realized that, and he put the right like systems in place, the right people there, everything changed for him as well, you know. It is about the people you put around you. We were just wrong in that situation.
And then from a structural point of view, how does it look now? Are you completely out of Sociable?
Bro, I literally sat him down. I don't need to. I was like, you leave me with the tiniest percent of shares that like you're happy with, and like I could still like, if it grows. I did put in 5 years of my life, so I was like, I honestly didn't want anything out of it. I think I've got like 3% in the company from 50% with Jace. So I just was like, whatever you need to get it to point B, I don't want to be like a hindrance ever. Use those shares to get a better me, you know, whatever you need to do. So
Jeez, that's super diplomatic, bro.
yeah, but like it's, dude,
Was there any negotiating, or were you just like,
there was one thing on the phone where I thought I said 5%, and he gave me 3%. I was like, bro, I don't know. Then I was like, I'm just arguing because my memory's bad, and I was like, it doesn't actually matter to me. So we both were like, nah, it's fine. Honestly, like that didn't matter to me. I just didn't want to like. I know that gut feeling in me that's like, I did put in 5 years. And then, although I hate feeling guilty that like I'm the reason someone's failing or whatever, I also don't want to feel that resentment towards him, because he goes and like, it blows up and I'm like, I did put in 5 years of my life, you know? I don't need the money, but like, I would like to at least know that I was a part of something. It was a big chunk of my life. If it takes him another 5 years to get there, I still put in like a base 5 years, you know? I don't want to feel that like resentment. So I was like, what's like the lowest amount that I could feel that I'm still a part of it? And like, that was it. I was like, 3% I'm pretty chuffed with, you know?
and obviously, so Sociable is it's a tech business,
Yeah.
like a social tech or community tech. I don't know what you would specifically call it,
Yeah.
but it's tech. It's not brick and mortar. It's not a physical thing. You're obviously creating physical experiences for the most part, but it's very different to what Naughty Water is.
Yeah.
How would you say that having poured 5 years into that kind of business
Yeah.
has influenced the way that you are building what you currently are?
Yeah. So a lot of reflecting, a lot of everything. But like, you know, I've chatted to you about it before, like my family business, we're in like health products. It's a physical product. I like grew up with that my whole life. And Jason is very tech savvy. He's very like, he knows every shortcut on an iPhone, and like, you know what I mean? He takes the time. He's very like structured and this and that. And like, I didn't know how much I needed that physical thing. It like has been a part of me. And like, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but like not having a physical exchange for me is so difficult. Like, I want to be able to give an influencer this if they do that, or like it's hard even with the app side, especially for like an influencer. You have no exchange with them yet, you know, like them building a community. It takes a lot of work, and like Jason is that hard work that creates that thing, and he's proven it like 100 times. You know, he facilitates that whole thing to get there, but it's like long term. I'm like very short term. Like, that exchange needs to happen right now. I need to give them something, and they're gonna give us something now. Or if I can give them something now and they only give me something in months, I'm fine with that. But I don't want to sit with like the guilt of like me taking and then not not getting like, you know what I mean? It's like it sits in me, and I'm like, I owe them. It's like when you borrow something,
Yes.
or like, oh flip, I forgot my wallet, someone pays. Like I think about it, I need to get them their money back like ASAP, and that was kind of the feeling I was getting, is like, I'm not giving them something now. I'm promising something down the line that may or may not happen. It's all reliant on like how much effort I put in. I'm going to grow their community is the promise, like you're going to get a community on this. But there's so many variables that like can prevent it. And it's mostly their hard work, to be honest. Yeah. So that's the...
You're also a super like idea rich person and like very creative, and you obviously had the content that was a big part of your life, like creating content and stuff. You've like done a big culling of things,
Yeah.
and
the
really
biggest lesson,
really like
actually, yeah.
honed in what like where did that come from? Because that was a drastic shift.
Yo, dude, I heard it so many times, and it's not like one time was the time. Like all the advice I get given from like any mentor around me was like, you need to focus on one thing. I even remember sitting down with this, his name's Pavlo. He wrote that book, Sweat Scale Cell.
Okay.
And he like chatted to me, and he was like, the app's not gonna work. That's what he said to me.
Wow.
Like 2-3 years ago, bro. Jason and I were like, nah, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? But like he told me like, you need to pick one thing. And he's like, the thing at the time was my family business. He was like, it's making money. Like you need to take this thing and scale it, And I kept hearing the same thing, like you need to put your focus on one thing. But passion was a big driver for me. And I just didn't have the passion yet. And Naughty Water, even when we were starting, I was trying to fund it with like the videography side, the this, the that, like all the other businesses. And the first thing that like fell away, the passion side, was the thing that wasn't helping me fund the passion, which was the app. Then the next was like, well, now I've put in like millions into Naughty Water, and I've got to like, if I go take a job for, let's say, 50 grand to go shoot videos somewhere, I'm basically choosing that quick little 50 grand over this risk that we've taken. Now people have like bet on me, and like basically you're saying like, let me go make like a quick 50 grand over like helping get these people their return, or whoever's like trusted me with it. So those like thoughts started like building up to a point where I was like, if I don't go all in on this, I'm letting like every single person around me down, not just like a hope or a dream of myself, So that was the like big switch over to one thing. It was
guess,
other
yeah.
people.
It also becomes a thing where you realize that getting it's like an instant gratification thing. I had the same thing with coaching, which I recently stopped as well, where I was like, this pays really well.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable. I get to meet really awesome people. I get to help people.
Yeah.
It's super cool. But the leverage on my giving a 1-to-1 or a 2-on-1 on like the grand vision of Horizon is nothing.
That was the media side for me. Yeah.
It's like, cool, it puts food on my table, it gives me some comfort.
That's good money.
It's good money,
like, yeah.
but it's like not actually doing anything leverage-wise.
It's not scalable.
No.
Yeah.
At
Can't
least
get to a
in that
point where
form.
ideas, like right now, like ideas can become a reality because I've got people in place or systems in place to scale like the other side. But like with that, you are doing that, and that's the only time, that's the exchange you have is for like that. And it is comfortable. It's like the videography side was fantastic. It was so nice. And it taught you a lot. Like I'm sure that taught you the most. But then there comes a point where you have to create something scalable.
It's kind of weird, like I find that because this thing now is about 3 years old and the way I related to it had a lot to do with coaching, there's a constant like metamorphosis of the self where like you have to like, it's not like a kill the boy situation, but you're like sort of killing old versions of yourself, and it's quite like heavy where it's like, okay, now where do I fit in? Like now what's my thing?
Yeah.
And you've got to like, which is a huge gift because it's the kind of ecosystem is growing and developing, but there's so many little bits of inertia that make taking the step really
How did
difficult.
you find running a team? Because I was like, what do Monday meetings consist of? Like, what do people sit down and talk about it? It's like those things we never. Did you ever work in like a corporate?
I did.
Okay,
So that
you're
has
a little
helped.
bit fortunate.
That
bro.
has helped.
I've never ever. I literally was 18 or 19 and I started my first product. You know, like I've never ever sat and like this is the first time we got like team members and like you sit there and you realize like if I don't structure a team meeting, like everyone's running around like headless chickens, you know. But what do you even talk about?
Yeah, and
That was my first problem.
yeah, and the things also change. Like the way you meet is going to change. Like
Yeah.
when Naughty Water grows, you're not going to meet with everyone anymore. You might, and instead of having a one-on-one every week, you're going to be like, okay, how many times should I have a one-on-one?
hope I don't get that big.
Maybe once a month.
love it.
You know, maybe whatever. It's like, so it's like, it's also that you need to like figure out. That's like probably the biggest growth challenge now. It's like not. I've been managing people. It's how do you manage people who manage people?
Yeah.
And like, how do you respect the chain of command? It's like, let's say
I find it so difficult.
let's say you manage Masindi, right? And now something happens between Masindi and I manage you. Do I go directly to Masindi or do I speak to you? How do I like get the thing done effectively, but also without undermining the leaders that have been put in place? But I find it so weird. I find it like quite unnatural.
I have the arguments that I have is if I have to learn this stuff now, right, I have to make hundreds of mistakes, or do I bring in like a CFO or like a CMO or who's already been in corporate that manages that chain of command, you know, that's already like handled the meetings, that's done this, and I can even sit there and learn a bit from them. It's like, are those the things, like, do I want to go make 20 mistakes now in a time when I should be making mistakes in the scaling of the actual brand?
But you guys have some backing though, don't you? You have like a financial partner.
Yeah.
That also helps, right?
Yeah, he's not involved.
But you can
bounce ideas.
You could maybe create a role where you bring in an experienced manager.
Yeah.
You're not bootstrapping.
No.
You know.
That's true. That's the arguments I have is like, do I want to be the one to make the mistakes? Or like, can I do what I know, which is like scale the brand and like get someone who can? Those are the things that I don't know yet. I got to figure it out.
And I feel like there's no one way to do it. But my like unsolicited 2 cents would be, it seems so clear what you're good at. If you have no limitation on your resources and you can find someone who's a cultural fit and is competent, like that kind of makes sense to me. Like bring in, like what we spoke about yesterday, someone who's like super like by the book, analytical, dialed in, puts the like guardrails on, and then you can like play in the guardrails. It's gonna like creatively free you so much.
100%.
And then you just fucking like, you know, put foot and
We've kind of got someone who's pretty keen. Yeah.
really.
He's
That's
like
exciting.
Yeah. He's a CA, but like he's just like quite high up.
Where did
in his
you
company.
Where did you find
At
him?
the gym, bro, and he's a unit.
Which gym?
It's always a gym, bro.
At
It's a gym.
Virgin?
At Virgin in Kloof. He's like
Nice.
twice my size, 34 years old. If he's listening to this, he'll be like, yeah. But he just came and chatted to me at the gym. His like wife drank Naughty Water and like,
That is so cool.
yeah. He ran we did that Glen Can Forest Trail run or whatever, and him and his wife were there. They invited us to go like do a pop-up there and stuff. So they like very much love the brand. Yeah. You want someone like that, but he's super switched on, bro. Yeah.
And
Like,
you can kind of guess that he's disciplined if he's, you know, he goes to the gym,
gym.
and he's in very good shape.
100%.
It's like, okay, cool. This like he's about it.
He gets it, yeah. And he fully gets, like, he has a jaw, but he's super structured as well, you know? It's fully aligned with the brand. Like, that's someone I think I would, like, I need to find a Jason for Naughty Water, basically. Like, the exact same, like, relationship we had is what I need in this, you know? Structured, tells me where I can and can't go. And then I just go, you know?
It's interesting how that structure and those like guardrails actually can create more innovation and creativity. Because it like frees
I'm
you
so
up a bit.
timid right now
Yeah.
to like make moves because of mistakes. But like if someone was like, this is what you can and can't do, and just let me go, that would be like peak. Yeah.
And speaking of mistakes and lessons, tell me how 25 mils cost you 1.5 mil.
Yeah. So basically, we had cans that we had been working on for like a whole year already. Like, it's always like, so we thought 300 grand was going to get our brand off the ground, right? And then it quickly became like 2 million rand. And by that point, we had already spent like 2 years trying to, like, do we go this route? Do we go that route? That we just wanted to pull a trigger. Did all the legal things right, like we thought we did. No one knows that like there's lawyers for this. And at the time, it's like, you chat to a lawyer, you pay 20 grand, you pay 20 grand. It's like you think that's how you do things right. Where like the alcohol industry, you need to go to like a proper, he's entered a product on the market. And if you don't, you're stuffed. Like there's so many layers to it. So we brought in these 355 ml cans and we thought American hard seltzers, they 355. It's the American 12 ounce, right? So we're like positioning. We thought because South Africa weren't printing 355 ml cans, we thought that's why they weren't on the market, right? Like thinking like there's a barrier, you know? So we import these things, right? We bring them in, we enter the market, we get slightly big, and then we get like a legal letter, boom, like signed, sealed, destroy all your stock, 0 days to comply. And it was just like world ending, bro. Yeah. So the business was doing all right at the time. Dude, everything was done so compliant. Like, we pay the syntax up front every time. Like, there's no, like, wiggle room with legalities. I don't want to cut any corners in an industry where you already have guys, like, waiting for you to mess up, you know? No one wants you to come, like, take on the industry. So I thought I did everything properly. And then, like, there's layers to it. I feel like something could happen again, even though we've done it even better now, you know? That's how it felt.
So how much stock did you have to destroy?
So luckily it's not filled cans, it's printed cans, but it's 300,000 printed cans. It's like 3 shipping containers full of cans that like you can't use. They like unusable. Yeah. We thought of some sick we were gonna like get I went up to Joburg to meet, I don't know if you've heard of Samurai Farah.
No.
But he's an artist. And like we went to go chat to him about doing a whole campaign where we like turned a thing that could have flattened our company into like a campaign. And like we wanted to do this art piece that ended up at a Naughty Corner festival, you know?
Sure.
And he built this thing out of the cans that are supposed to be destroyed, you know?
That's very
like,
cool.
I know, it's a sick one. But like logistically and monetary wise right now, it just would be a silly move to put cash and time into that and not into product right now. Product is like the biggest cash flow in this thing is horrible. It's why companies fail, is because demand actually is high and you can't manufacture, and you have like 30, 60-day accounts. Some, like you go into Checkers, you're probably dealing with like a 90-day account. So you go full like 100,000 cans, you're a million in, you only see that money 90 days from now while you're filling more cans because you have to still like keep that flow going. So cash flow is like, it's what you learn, collapses these things big time.
So is it the industry norm for most manufacturers or most brands to give the retailers like a 60-day?
Bro, they own you until you prove. Like, if they come to you, it's a different conversation, which is like what we tried to do. It's why, like, we've worked so well in KZN. Is like we created big demand, and then we walk in and they already know who we are, which is sick. How
did you create the demand?
So we went into a few outlets, like 5, right? And then we marketed like everywhere. We were in the run clubs already. We were like doing everything as if we were big already. Then like we just walked in with this shirt and like most of the managers were like, give us your credit app. Like we'll do it right now. So like that's kind of the thing we want to do. It's like not fake it till you make it, but be the brand that does what the big brands are doing and more, and they will invest in you. Like, they're not willing to do a tasting every Friday. I'll go into every Tops right now and I'll say, if you have a slot on a Friday, I'll come do a tasting here. And you quickly realize like no one's doing that. No one does that. So like you build good relationships with the stores. Other stores see you doing activations at theirs. They want into that. Like they just want to know you're present. And like not many brands are doing those things. It costs money. They're not willing to like put systems in place that you can scale tastings. Like we've got our own staff on groups. Instead of like paying another company 3 grand to go do a tasting, we've got our own staff that like are part of the brand that want to be in tastings and like just be present. And then it makes it so much easier. Like the stores want to work with us. They love to work with us, you know?
I think also because you're in such an established industry, a lot of the incumbents are a little bit complacent,
Yep.
I would imagine.
No, I speak
They're
about it all the
much
time.
older,
Yeah.
they're much older, they're not as hungry, they don't have the like fire that's like
Too many rules as
you know?
well. There's red
Okay.
tape, there's layers to every decision. Like someone can't just say, I think we should be doing tastings, and then they go do tastings. It's like they've got data that says tastings didn't get them sales, you know?
So they don't run it.
They don't go run it. So it's like, who has the better relationship? This brand that maybe they get a lot of sales, which obviously they do, but it's like we coming in and saying like, our staff are going to be there every Friday. We're going to push our product into hands, and we're going to make sure like it sells. You know, like that's kind of the positioning we've got for at his work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll obviously see long term, but I think that's also what kind of poses an attractive prospect as a younger founder or a younger business person trying to make their way. Is like most of our kind of age equals are like in tech or something.
Yeah.
They're not like playing in the sort of established spaces as
Bro,
much. So there's like
yeah,
a huge
you get it.
opportunity to go and like
is.
make it interesting,
But
make
I
it
want to
fun,
shake
make
people
it
sometimes
Yes.
because, like, I feel like people are sleeping on the industry of product in hand. There's South Africa has this thing of like monopolized industries. Like it's like everything's owned by one big dog. You know, like you literally have like SAB, Heineken in this space, but foods are the same. Like you look at bread, like you got Sasco, and then you got like or toothpaste even. Like there's two brands, and that's it. And like no one's coming in and going like, you know what, I could enter the market and like shake it up, and then you just get bought out. Like there's this gap in it, you know, like South Africans are sleeping a little bit on it. Brand is like, dude, it's undervalued right now. Everyone's trying to like sell a course or like it's all time related, or it's like how many, when you're done with that, like your personal brand or whatever people are doing right now, what do you do when you're done with it? You know, like there's nothing to sell. You can't sell yourself. You know what I mean?
You have to launch another thing.
Yeah, whereas like not just this, but anything in line with this, like you're building something that you don't take money out of for a while. It's like the inverse. You're not getting a salary now, you're reinvesting every cent. But like 5 years from now, you sell out. You know, you sell a company or
I think it is, yeah. It's like 15-ish days from year 3 horizon. I took my first kind of paycheck yesterday. Like that's how long it takes, bro. Like I haven't taken anything out of it. It's literally
That's
like,
cool.
but I also think another element is like these more traditional industries, you know, like physical product, gym space, whatever. There is quite a high barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Capital wise, it's not cheap.
100%.
Like if you want to start a tech business, teach yourself how to code.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm like simplifying it. Teach
No,
yourself
no,
how to code and
that's
like
right.
get on some like prompt engineering stuff, and you can build at least like an MVP.
Yeah.
Whereas to do your thing, bro, you need like 50,000 cans
No,
or like
100%.
you need a lot of
That
stock.
is the thing. But if you pitch it right and position it right, people want to invest in a physical product. Like, you know, like if you came with this concept to an investor and you were you and you pitched it right and you found the space and you found this and you put the numbers in front of them, there are so many people out there that really want to put into like Naughty Water. We are literally getting offered money every day. Like, what do you guys need? What do you want with this? It's like, it's the craziest thing. You just have to show. And like we were getting offered it when we just had a visual picture of
That's
the
wild.
cat. Yeah. It's the first time I've ever seen that in my whole life. And I was like, it really is just how much thought and like projection, not even numbers, but like, where is this brand? It's like one of the first things like the big guys ask is like, where do you see this brand? You know, like they want to hear you say like, I want to sell for 500 million rand. Like they just want to hear the founders say like a ridiculous number. Then they're in. Yeah.
What is the vision for Naughty Water?
Dude, I would love to run this thing like till it is like the biggest drinks brand in South Africa in its category. But like competitor wise, us, like everyone's like, oh, like this salts or this or that. Like I don't really see those as competitors. I don't think they're doing what we're doing. I would say like whoever could drink a brutal fruit could drink a Naughty Water, and like we just the healthier version. I would love to scale it to a point where like I have an innovation team and like we're creating new products and like new lines, and we have like a hard lemonade range and this, and like we go 0 calories, but we try to work on better flavors and like those sorts of things. Not 0 calories, 0 sugar, and like try like innovate around the brand. But like the truth is in SA that like the monopoly doesn't like us, you know, like they don't want you there. So like they do want to buy you out when you start making like a brand dent, you know, and that's is the goal. Like I want to be everywhere all at once, you know, like I want to be at the biggest festivals. I want to make my own, like that is the goal. But like the truth is, like the big dogs own the fridges that you sit in, you know, like they do. Like they've paid Spa 200 grand to renovate their cold room, and they own the first 3 shelves. So it's like, there's no amount of money you can pay to get on those first 3 shelves. You just have to go on the fourth.
But that's where brand comes in, right? If people are looking for you because you have like an aspirational brand
Yeah.
that people are attracted to,
Yeah.
how cool would it be if people are walking into the store and they're like, "Do you have Naughty water?"
Yeah. And they
like,
do now.
and
It's
you
sick.
Like that's,
Yeah.
I suppose that's how you kind of get over that, right?
No, that is exactly it. The Kloof Street Tops, right, yeah? They ran out of stock. They order small amounts of time, so we have to replenish quite frequently. But like the moment Chris Briscoe, he went and dropped it off for us when we were still in Durban, and he just sent this message in inverted commas, and he was like, "People are asking for it." That's what the
so
lady
sick.
said when he dropped it off, you know. So like that is where we're trying to get at. Is like they ask for it, and then we go to that store, or then we get in there instead of like trying to sell this thing that no one knows and then hope it sells, you know.
It's cool because you kind of build up some pressure around scarcity, where you do like the brand comes first and then you introduce the
Yeah.
product because it's like people are asking for it. That's
It's happened by chance. It hasn't happened on purpose. Like, I'm glad it happened the way it has, where we can't manufacture fast enough. But like, if we could have, I think we could have ruined this opportunity of what you said, like scarcity, you know? That is what built the brand.
So how long were you building the brand before you actually started putting product in stores?
A year. Longer.
Wow,
a
that's
year and a
long,
half.
bro.
We spent 9 months on the flavors. That was the problem we were trying to solve, was that no one liked the taste of low calorie drinks. So we were like, the like R&D phase was so long because we were like, I'm not happy with the combination. This is too sweet. This isn't sweet enough. Like so many reverts, so many changes, because I just was like, if that was the problem we were trying to solve and we jump into market because we just want to make bucks, then we haven't solved the problem. We're doing what everyone else did. So like 9 months on flavors, a year and a half on like branding and like getting the boxes right and this and that. Dude, it took 2 years before we had like an empty can in front of us. Then we started filling, and then we only went into like 5 spas, and then we were like, let's see how many sales we can make the 5 spas. And then you see like these crazy numbers, and you take those to the 6th spa, then the 7th spa, and that's like how it went. Instead of like, let's go get a Checkers deal and think that's going to solve your problems, you know? It doesn't solve it.
You want to do really well in a few spots and then use that to kind of
Yeah.
leverage other relationships and be like, look how awesome this product
Yeah.
is moving.
100%. I honestly think if we were in 100 stores, just 100 stores in the whole country that did what like our top 10 are doing now, the company would be doing crazy numbers. It would be so good.
How many are you in now? 20?
20, 25.
Okay.
Yeah, around there. Yeah. And it's like, it's almost self-sustainable at that. So it's like, yeah, it's already built a company that works, you know, in that little stores. That's just in KZN, you know.
That's wild.
Like Joburg is going to be crazy.
Are you going Joburg first? And oh no, but you're already in
We're
Cape
talking
Town.
about a 2-day. Actually, we're in one store in Joburg. I think this guy's going to go Joburg, and I'm going to go. I'm going to come to Cape Town again.
Okay.
I want to be hands-on when we grow this. Like, it must be us doing it, not like.
But don't you think, like, this, again, unsolicited, but like Cape Town's lifestyle is so much more aligned with the brand. What's the thinking around dividing and like you going Joburg and you coming here?
Can I tell you a story about Cape Town?
Yes.
I'm not going to say the store that this happened with, but Cape Town, I thought the same. Like, people love this stuff, and like it was super aligned with the brand. I feel like Cape Town, like here, people want to be the one who finds the product. Like they found it. They didn't get marketed it. They didn't get an ad. They like, hey guys, like, have you tried this? Like my friend tried it. All that. It's so much harder to penetrate that culture than Joburg, where it's a big billboard and suddenly you're a big brand. You know, Cape Town's not like that. And I realized that we put this one store bought 40 grand's worth of stock, and we were like prime position in the fridge. We were like really, really good. And it's in a really good location in Cape Town, like the best, right? And that stock, 3 months later, they hadn't ordered again, right? We put double that amount in Belito, right? And it sold in 1 month. No ads. No
Yo.
ads. No ads.
But what have you done differently? Is it not because you already had a presence in KZN maybe?
Bro, we started in Cape Town. Like we started.
Oh, flip.
Yeah. We did tastings in the stores. Like, yeah. I don't know what it was, but it was one of those things where it's like, that's the A/B test. You know, like there's A, there's B. The one worked, the other didn't. Like, let's go. Like, let's put more into that side. If I had entered the Cape Town market myself and seen what I saw here and didn't do KZN, I would have thought the brand failed. Genuine. I would have sat back and gone, I just lost 2 million rand. Because, you know what I mean? Like, it was the worst feedback I've ever felt.
So when you are launching in an area, are you kind of like Joburg, for example, are you going to look at a sort of playbook of what worked in Durban,
we've got
KZN? Or is
systems
it
down.
okay? So it's quite like a plug and play launch
Yeah.
system. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not okay. So like, what is the level of nuance? Because obviously you tried it with Cape Town a bit, but it didn't necessarily work on the first try. Are you going to take that playbook now and try it on Cape Town?
I do think Cape Town will work. It required more.
Okay.
Far more. Like I said, you need to get that connection to people a lot more. It requires like that finger on the pulse. That's why I want to be here. It's because it is like being at the run clubs. It's like investing in people first. You know, like they want to feel like they're connected to the brand in order to buy it. Instead of just this brand's ran me the same Facebook ads 10 times. You know, they're not going to go buy the can at all in Cape Town. They want to feel like, dude, it's so exciting when like a run club has like asked you a few times and you can finally like come be a part of it and they see how involved we get. Like Christy, our events and community manager, she ran like the 21 with Rachel when she came up. She just ran with her, and like before we partnered with her, that was how our meeting started, was like Christy ran the 21 with her and then we had our meeting, you know? So it's like, I think when that ecosystem is created, I think it'll work.
And what community touch point have you found to be the most engaged with Naughty Water?
Run clubs.
Really?
Dude, run clubs are sick. The first one we did was the Somerset West run crew. That was the moment we rocked up with like this dinky table, like grandma's table, fold out with like rusted legs. And there was like this other brand with like literally like custom this with an umbrella and all this. And bro, me and Joss, my one mate, we got there and we were like, like, I feel so embarrassed. It's like plastic tops and like ass and this and that. We're like, yo, we really messed up. Yeah, like they're going to have all the, bro, everyone 6:30 in the morning, 150 cans down. They were all drunk. Like everyone is, bro, we had lines and people, like the most fun I've ever had. I was like, run cruise. Like this is where it's at. It was the best time. They still message us. That guy messaged our page like 2 days ago, when are you guys coming to Stellies? I was at the Somerset West run crew. This was the beginning of the year, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like Jan. He still remembers the brand from one day we did.
And then you saw that was also working in Durban.
Yeah, that's where we started initiating the whole like bridging the gap. My positioning is exactly like I'm trying to position this as who I am. I want to like take the guilt away from having a drink. Like everyone who's in the fitness space, it's so taboo to like have a drink, and yet everyone loves to have a drink. Like you have a beer after a run, you do this, like everyone does it, but like people feel ashamed like to connect a brand to a drinking brand if they like sport and drinking. Like I want to like take the guilt away, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're all working bloody hard. We're running races, we're doing this, we're doing that. Why should you feel guilty for like having a beer? Or like having a Naughty Water, you know?
Is that why you lean into the low calorie side, like the 117 calories?
Yeah, so we drank hard seltzers for the low calories. That was like my whole friend group. That was the problem. Like everyone drank them for the low calories, not because they enjoyed the drinks. Like you drink a beer because you enjoy the beer, you know? But like now we're drinking these things just because it's low calorie and no one enjoyed the taste. So now we've got a drink that is the low calorie, but we enjoy the taste.
And I was doing some research on the competition. I don't know if this is correct, but is Volta a seltzer?
Yeah, it was one.
I never knew that. I used to hear the ads on the radio all the time as a kid, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell is Volta?
Yeah,
Like,
when we were kids.
what is this?
With the Russian chick.
Yes.
You remember that?
And also the pouring of the can,
Yeah.
like it was actually quite nice. The sound of it. I never tried it. But which big dog, like in the space that you guys are in, or at least just the liquor space, who is sort of the biggest player in terms of low calorie seltzer? Not the specific brand, but like SAB or like Distell
No,
or
so it's actually independents. SAB and
they don't own any of them. Doesn't
No.
Distell own Volta?
no,
Or whatever that thing
Water
is.
is gone.
Oh.
Water's gone. Flying Fish Seltzer gone. Those were SAB and I don't know who Water. I think it was Distill.
Yeah.
But now it's all independently owned. I think Brooks just got. I don't know if I can say it. Yeah, I can say other brands.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, but
up to
I
you.
think Brooks got bought into by a like umbrella company. They have tons of brands, and now Brooks is like one of those brands in it. I don't know if it's completely bought out or just invested in, but they fall under like this little umbrella now. And then Southside is another one, which is predominantly in KZN.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, like they have their positionings. We're not going for what they're going for. I don't think we are like Southside's mass. They drop a pallet off in a store and that. Like we're not that. I don't want to be the bulk bar, ever. We are Naughty Water. We're the brand. Like our positioning is like you're part of our community, That's it.
How did you guys connect with CRRC? Why'd you pick them and not one of the other running clubs? I like them a lot.
I think they
I've
reached
hung
out.
with them.
I
Okay.
think they reached out. We like maybe it was Rachel. Maybe it was Rachel that put us in touch with them.
Because when I had Hein on the podcast, Hein was actually our first guest ever. Had him in my
chances.
flat,
Cool.
like sitting around my dining room table. And CRRC, like the joke, is a drinking club with a running problem.
Yeah, I saw their videos, bro. So yeah,
like,
it's a lot.
it's well aligned.
Yeah.
But I think with a running problem, it's quite funny. But like, I'd wonder if, like, for instance, a running late would be into it.
Bro, the big brands are always like, we had the same things with Sociable. Like, not that running late, I think they would be keen, but it's always like brand deals. Like,
Okay, they
they
wanna
know
get
their
paid.
positioning is big. I never want to, like, if I'm not getting involved just because of our product, I don't want to get involved. Like, I don't want to pay 10 grand to sponsor a festival. I'd rather put 10 grand into like my own festival, whatever it is. Like,
Smart.
we talked about it earlier, but like, if my product isn't good enough to collab, like my brand isn't good enough to collab, then we're not on the same page. Like I want to push your event and like I want to push that we're involved in it. And like if that isn't good enough and you require money, then why am I not requiring money from you? Is like kind of the thought.
Yes.
So I just like when it is stuff like that, I want to like align fully. Like we coming all in, you coming all in, and like that's where we meet. Like your people get drinks, Like I want to like. That's the exchange.
There is an exchange of value already.
Yeah,
So-
it's fantastic. Your guys get to leave there having like the best time, and like it wasn't us that made the best time. It was your run crew. We just like we amplified it. We amplified your brand. Yeah, that's kind of us. Yeah.
And the Rachel relationship, you just send her product or you pay her.
No, we do pay her.
Oh, baller.
Yeah.
Sick. She's a great ambassador. She's got an
fantastic.
excellent personality.
Yeah.
She's so funny. She's great. I think I'm a
We
fan.
pay her.
I'm a fan.
We do, but it's like for her, she's working.
So that's her
It's
job.
work. She makes videos. Like that exchange, like I'd have to give her a shitload of product to make up for like
Yeah.
her putting I was in that space of
You
making
derail her career because
Yeah.
she'd be completely like
she'd
trying
be
to get
out
through-
of there.
trying to
I
get
gotta push more content.
yeah, it wouldn't end well.
Got 20 cases and she's pushing content out. No. So she's working technically. She's got like content to put out. Like we work with her, like right now we're working with her on the content around the Cape Town Marathon. Like how do we do something with her to get content? So it is work, technically. Yeah.
Have you got your eye on any other influencers?
No. Oh, dude, who's that guy? Simon.
Stoffberg.
Yeah.
He's cool, bro.
Dude,
I
he's
like
sick.
Simon.
I like his content.
Simon's great.
Yeah. Tag
He's,
him.
he's also just got a really cool, loud personality,
Yeah.
which would align well, I think.
100%. My one partner, Jason Reed, he cycles, and like we're doing like a Naughty kit, like it's
Oh, that's
proper
gonna
like
be so
cycling
cool.
kit. So it's gonna be cool. But like he's like, I want that guy. We need to like get him involved. So I think he would be aligned. Yeah.
And so now with is Jason Reed a business partner?
Yeah.
Like co-owner of,
Yeah.
and then you have your, like, the financial backing dude.
We have a few shareholders.
Okay.
There's two at like a lower percentage, and they've got their own jobs and life, but they were there in the beginning. Like
What
they
do
put in the work.
Okay, that's sweat.
Yeah,
They're
some put in money, some put in sweat. But it was like a friend's conversation, and then the reality hit of needing funding. So then shares all changed, you know. But initially, it was like me calling up 4 friends saying like, I've got this idea. We'll all be 20% shareholders. Each put in 50 grand, and then like reality hits of like, guys, I got quotes for this. I got quotes for that. It's not going to be 50 grand. Like you can buy in whatever shares you want, but this is where we need to get started. And then everything shifted a bit.
And like, so you originally said that you guys were thinking of 300K upfront, and
Bro, that's what I thought would start this whole business.
And then
dude.
it was 2 bar.
Yeah.
What was the 1.7 difference? Was it like?
So the 300 was just me going,
ballpark.
you know what? 300 grand sounds like a lot of money. You know,
sounds
like
reasonable.
yeah, you go get cans filled. Like we do 10,000 cans. It costs us X amount. But like we didn't want to enter the market half-assed. Like I want to enter the market because I see a gap and I want to compete with the big boys. You know, they must pick our can off the shelf and go like, yo, max efforts. You know, like we scared of these guys. And there's so many shortcuts you can take that can get a can on shelf. Like you can do shrink wrapped cans. But like that's not how, you know, the shrink wrap branding around a can. Like that's not how you enter the market and someone goes, who's doing that shit? You know, that's like, oh, these guys had a fun idea. We would have been just like a funny, like if it was that direction, like Naughty Water, you know.
Yes.
The reason the name works so well is that every corner is not cut. You know, like we've got the best branded boxes, like the cans are printed, they're like the highest quality. Like that's the reason the name works. If it was like all the corners cut, you'd pick up the can and go like, this is a fun little side project. You know?
How do you go about finding the necessary people to make that a reality?
1,000 phone calls. bro.
Okay, so you're picking stuff up and you're like, this is amazing. Let me try and find out who made this thing.
Yeah.
Like who did the like.
A million phone calls.
Okay.
Like when I tell you, like you're working with a flavor lab that is a totally different company. I thought you just phone a manufacturer and say, I want strawberry flavor, you know, and then they're going to say, cool, how many do you want? You're working with a flavor lab that makes your formulas, your IP of the taste. Then those formulas get handed over to the guys who fill. Now you got printing cans, which there's like, bro, the problem solving was in South Africa, your minimum order quantities for a printed can is 500,000 per flavor.
Cheapest.
So now I'm sitting there with these numbers in front of me and I'm like 1.5 million cans. You're sitting with 18 shipping containers, right, that you have to store before you've sold a single can, right? So like those are the problems you have to
It's a
solve.
wild barrier.
Yeah. Now I phone the company who sells the machines that print cans, and I go, "Who are you supplying in South Africa?" So it's like you got to literally find these, and they're like, "Nah, we only supply 2 companies." So now you're like, "Where can I get cans from outside of South Africa?" Then you know, so like, there's so many little like printing of the boxes. That's another company. Like you got to find all these things. Then you got a distributor who gets it into stores. Like none of those things existed, and all the conversations you're having with those people, they're looking at you going like, I've seen this a million times. Like the first conversations with them, they're like, yeah, this is kind of how it works. They don't take you seriously at all because everyone's had an idea to start an alcohol brand. They know all the barriers to entry. So no one even like thinks you're going to do it. Then they see a physical product. They're like, oh shit, these guys are serious. And then it all changes.
And so it's cheaper to bring, well, if you're trying to be leaner, cheaper to bring stuff in from overseas, even factoring in duties.
Yeah. It's
That
not
doesn't
cheaper.
make-
It's a smaller barrier to entry.
But that's also so silly because now, like, you could be like, maybe the big guys, I don't care.
It's the big. So
don't really
the
care.
only thing is you got Coca-Cola and you got SAB. They all printing cans. Now you got to stop a whole printing line for what? Like what they spit out in 3 minutes, they're stopping their whole line for. So like I do get it. Like that's the reason they're the big boys, you know. So like those are the things that like they've made this barrier. The big guys have made the barrier. There's no ways to get around it. But now, like other gaps in the market, free value to anyone who's watching is like coming in with a printing line, import a 10 million rand printing line that does 50,000 runs of cans, you know, do a little less, but charge a little more for like changing over to the new run, whatever it is. bro, that's like the first thing I was like, shit, maybe I don't go to Naughty Water. Maybe I start a printing line, because the
Yes.
gap is you go partner with all the microbreweries and you say like, we'll give you guys smaller barrier to entry. We charge a little bit more. Like, dude, massive money to be made. That you look at the gaps in those markets.
And also then you're enabling entrepreneurship in South Africa, which is
100%.
cool.
Yeah, and you making more competition for the big guys, making them have to make better products.
Yes.
And market better and do better, you know? Whereas now they just sit back because they know these, like, we genuinely, to make a dent in the industry, we would need like maybe 5 to 10 million rand to like make a dent in it. You know, where do people just suck out 5 to 10 million rand? It's like,
Most don't, yeah.
you can't. Like, it's impossible. So they know they can just, they've made the barrier and they can just like sit back.
And to close off with extra free value. So there are tons of barriers getting into what it is that you've gotten into. For someone who wanted to, and this timeline is short, especially since you told me it took 9 months to do R&D alone, or flavor alone. If you had to start over and you wanted to build and like launch in 3 months,
Yeah.
what would your first step be?
What would my first step be?
If you wanted to launch a liquor brand in
A
3
liquor
months.
brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, I mean, what would you consider Naughty Water, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you had
If
to-
I wanted, if I wanted to do a product like this,
Yes.
right now,
You got
dude,
3 months to launch.
I would honestly say that there's no quick way. There's absolutely none. If you want to do it properly, like if you want printed cans, you're waiting 3 months for the cans to even arrive. Like
Okay.
that's how long it took. And in South Africa, it's even longer because you're on the back burner. Like you were on a wait list for printed cans. So it's like not a quick thing. If you really wanted to start an alcohol brand and quality didn't matter, then I would say shrink wrap. Like, dude, there's some sick, very cool looking stickers that have gone over cans that they've made it look like quite like retro, like that vibe. You could technically do that. And then your MOQs are 10,000 and you start a whole company for 100 grand.
So is the biggest barrier or the most difficult thing to navigate at the beginning? It's like packaging.
Bro, I didn't even get it. You need an alcohol license, right? Even if you do not touch alcohol. This is another barrier. So you've got a licensed distributor, you've got a licensed manufacturer. You need an alcohol license just because you own the brand. You're accepting money in some form that is related to alcohol. So that's another 9 months to 12 months that you have to wait. And then you have to own a property that, like basically, or rent a property with a 3-year or longer lease, right? That you put the alcohol license on even when you are not making one dime. It's the biggest barriers, bro. It's crazy.
So what now? Like what stopped you from not being like, this is ridiculous?
I was too far.
Okay.
Dude, the moment someone said, Naughty, so my mate said, toss me a Naughty Water, and I trademarked it on Monday. Bro, within that week, I outlaid 150 grand on the flavors to start working on that process before anyone had put in a dime. I was like in it, bro. So it was like, I can't turn back.
So this was like a week turnaround from that like chill sesh
Yeah.
where someone would mention that.
Yeah. Yeah, Joss, my one mate, said, toss me a Naughty Water. And I was like, bro, if this isn't trademarked, Monday, trademark, done. Applied for the trademark. That was like 8 grand or whatever. Before anyone had agreed to give me any money yet, I already went out, found the flavor lab, and put 150 grand in a turn.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
got to be like a little, yeah. I was too far in to turn back. That was the thing. Now it's like, fuck, alcohol license, but like I've already spent 300 grand. Like what? I can't go back now, you know? I'm glad it all worked out like it did. Because if I looked at what it required, I would never have started it. Ever.
Yeah, that ignorance is so helpful sometimes.
It's so helpful.
It's like really useful.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
If you knew what this was going to take, I bet you wouldn't have like.
probably not.
Yeah, it's like.
I actually don't know. If you had to like,
you-
if you had to
you're
like,
addicted
if
to
you had to like bottle like all the challenges into one thing and be like, okay, I'm gonna give you a little taste of what the next 3 years are gonna be like just before you start.
Oh no, I would never have.
I don't know.
I wouldn't have. This industry is not. That these were the longest 3 years of my whole life, and like numerous times where I sat there going like, "What the fuck have I done? What have I started?" And now people rely on me, and like I've got like people that are expecting me to follow through with this, and like it's so daunting.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not even there. We're not even there yet. Like we're still in the phase of like, what the fuck we're doing. Yeah.
But it looks like it's going nicely. So, where, if someone wants to grab a Naughty water, do they go? In Cape Town?
Kloof Street Tops
Okay.
is for now. Like I said, when we do things, we do it properly. We enter the market when we have all hands on deck. But in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be in like everywhere you can look. Norman Goodfellas is another one. Like we got our new cans now, so we'll be back in there.
We can't order online.
Norman Goodfellas will be the online.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So I was on the website and it asked me if I was 18. I was like, am I going to order now or what?
No, we actually can't sell off our store with our license.
But you can sell merch though.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can grab some merch at naughtywater.co.za /collections/all. Shout out.
Forward slash.
Brew, thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
If people want to find you, where do they go?
Me.
Yeah, the IG.
Yeah, IG, Michael Tones.
Yeah, you make a lot of cool founder-centric content.
Yeah. I hope, bro, it's so sick.
Watch
when
the come up, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And
It
like,
is
it's so helpful to others, bro. It's the most value I've ever, I'm sure you've experienced it. The most value I've ever got out of, best ROI I've ever got was posting on bloody like TikTok, bro. I got a distributor in like 3 provinces because he was like, I saw you on TikTok. And I was like, what is going on?
Do you post all the stuff you put on Reels on TikTok as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need
and
to
you
get
never
better
know
at
what's
that,
going to work. Bro, TikTok, honestly, it's the craziest thing. You think it's like kids and stuff, but this guy's like 60 years old. He has warehouses in like every province. And he's like, answers a video call with like, I saw your TikToks.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I actually have quite a few followers on TikTok, but I don't post on there.
Do it.
I should
Yeah.
jump back on.
And the more real stuff, like you talking to them, is the stuff that works. Not the like fast edit, all the cool stuff. It doesn't work. They want to
Interesting.
just know you. They want to like feel like you walking to open the gym in the morning. Like that's the stuff they want to see, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so
yeah.
much for the time.
Thank you, bro.
Enjoy your next pod.
Yeah.
I'll see you around.
Cool.
And
We're training here every day. So.
yes.
Cool.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you in the next episode. Cheers.
Thank you so much for listening to the show, guys. We love answering specific questions. So if there's anything you want to know, leave a comment or reach out to us directly at HorizonZA on Instagram or email us at movement@horizongym.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Seb Prentice, and this is Beyond Physical.